What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Why You Should Love with me, TheLonesomeRavidor. As today, as you can see, I've got a bit of a late one today. It's completely dark outside, which is a strange thing, so normally I get these recorded a lot sooner. So today, as you guys probably be able to gather by now, as the title right above me, we are doing a lovely Why You Should Love on 7 Days to Die. And unfortunately, as you normally would guess, unless it's a YouTuber, I normally bust up a case, but unfortunately, as it's a download-only game, then I can't bust it up, so... let's get this thing started. So 7 Days to Die is a newly released game. A game released on Steam recently anyway, and it was released on download before, like off license of Steam. And yeah, the game's been growing ever since. The game is basically a unique zombie survival kind of game, which you have a crafting system much like Minecraft, and you basically just have to fear everything you ever see in the entire game. So it's a very good survival game altogether. Anyway, let's move on to my points as to why you should love the game. Point number 1. The game itself has a very unique crafting system altogether. As I mentioned before, the game itself has a crafting system much like Minecraft. The difference between that and it now is the fact that the crafting system is a lot more intense, a lot more different, especially since the new update. The new update involves the fact that you're now introduced to a forging system, and it makes the whole crafting a lot more difficult. So the crafting thing is kind of very, very tense. So obviously you require the certain kind of items for the certain kinds of crafting. And the new forging system causes a bit of a clash for that, as it makes the whole game itself a lot harder, as you're required to actually mine or find real scraps of iron anywhere you can. You get these things by breaking down guns that you don't use, or you can break down other items like cans and tins and stuff like that, or you can break down like other pieces of metal or whatever and break down small parts, and then you can melt it into bigger parts, then make tools such as picks, spades, shovels. Spades and shovels are the same thing. I don't know where you come from, so I don't know what you call them. You can make stuff like guns out of them as well, make rocket launchers, ammunition, all the stuff out of like different forging systems you can make. The crafting system really does come in handy, and it can really give you either a unique advantage or a unique unadvantage, depending on which way you want to go, and what you're going to spend your unique materials on, because the materials do eventually go, and obviously you need to remember that, unless you're able to farm your items through the zombies, then you really need to focus on keeping using your items on what you need, and not everything you want to make. Anyhow, let's move on to my second point. This game itself is a fantastic game for any zombie lovers out there. I know for a fact that every single person, well, the majority of people of all ages, do enjoy zombie games and zombie films. This is definitely one of them zombie games that you don't want to miss out on. This game is fantastic, personally, especially for the zombie aspect. Anyway, you meet definitely different kinds of zombies. You find this big cop kind of looking ones which spew at you and you can damage your house. There's the normal kind of zombies which crawl around the place, and then there's different. There's spider zombies as well, which climb up walls and stuff like that, can get you at high points. There's hornets as well, which they're kind of not really zombies, but they're different monsters in a sense, so it's like the different threats in which you have to fight against. And yeah, so that's really just a point for any zombie lovers out there who really want to get their hands on a great, fantastic zombie game. This really is a good one which you can get hold of, and it really is a fantastic game to play, especially with the whole zombies aspect behind it as well. It's fantastic. Anyhow, let's move on to my third point. As I mentioned before in my crafting part at the start there, I really did kind of emphasize the whole survival thing, and this game really is a pure game of survival. There is not really much else goal to the game just yet. They are introducing that in the future, but for now it really is just survival, which is quite a fantastic point to put forward, because of the fact that the survival itself is so intense and supplies us a ration and stuff, like unless you make the right decisions and do the right stuff and farm the right items, then it really is quite difficult to actually be able to survive very easily. You have to plan yourself out and steady yourself, and don't waste everything at once. So it really is a very difficult survival game, and if you really do enjoy that, such as like games like that are really fantastic to play. Games like that in the past have tried to offer that kind of situation, but have been too afraid to fully demonstrate it, so they've really just sort of like shied away slightly and make it too easy for the player, whereas this doesn't all the time. It really does push you out there and say, go on then, show us what you got, and it really does kind of like say, there you go. And it is a fantastic game altogether, and the survival really is a good aspect to it. Anyway, let's move on to my fourth point. This is a game which simply everything helps. You can go out there, and while you're wondering the wonders of this world, and which you're offered straight away to, every single thing you come across can eventually come in handy. I mean, you can be wandering across the desert and find a dead piece of chunk of log on the floor. Pick it up, change it into planks, change it into sticks, eventually make tools out of it. You can find books and trash cans, change the books into pages into shotgun shells. You can then wander around, you can find curtains, beat the curtains up, get cloth can turn into torches. It's just fantastic. Every tiny thing can help, although not all this. A lot of the time you need the tiny things to build up the bigger things. So it really is fantastic. You need to aim for every small thing to make sure you get everything correct, and find that you need the small things to actually survive for the bigger occasions as well. Anyway, let's move on to my 5th point. Let's finish this off pretty simply. Basically, this game is probably one of the best survival games which I've found, which really does have a fantastic multiplayer. It really, you can create your own server or join someone else's server and then join in these survival games, which they also have. And as well, you can also play death matches and other kind of survival games as well with your friends and random people online if you want to. It's a fantastic game which you really should play, and the multiplayer definitely doesn't let down either. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been it really for this 7 Days to Die Why You Should Love. I hope you have enjoyed this. It's kind of a different, unusual one as opposed to our normal PS3 kind of genre one. And, well, game one, because normally I have a game here to demonstrate to you what game we are going to do. But instead we've done more of a download game, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this anyway. So, yeah, tell me if you guys want more, or what you want less of, or what games I should do in the future. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm TheLonesomeRavidor, and you guys have been beautiful. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.